Well then, welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Friday, April 10th, 2026. This is The Drop. I'm Jay Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
NBA podcast listeners, this is for you.
Over yonder, making the magic happen here on a Friday, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Hey. Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Help your boys out as we get ready for the play-in tournament next week and then the playoffs. Fun one lined up today, though. We got a lot. You got worst of the week nominees.
Yeah. Some funny ones.
Yeah, you decided to go with worst instead of best in the end.
Right.
You were contemplating.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll mention some of the best.
Okay, good. We're going to do our final NBA awards watch as we've basically have 2 nights of basketball left. Friday night, tonight, and then on Sunday. And we'll end with some rapid fire questions, which are always not that rapid. But first, some crazy news yesterday. 76ers star Joel Embiid underwent emergency surgery in Houston on Thursday after being diagnosed with appendicitis a few hours before his team fell to the Rockets. Wild stuff here. Unclear right now when, if, I guess, Embiid will be able to return to the court. Jeff Stotts of In Street Clothes tweeting yesterday, these are relatively uncommon surgeries in the NBA, but Grant Hill, OG Anunoby have undergone the procedure, and the average time lost for an in-season surgery like this is about 3 weeks. I think 23 days is what Jeff Stotts said. Yeah. So not great, Bob, for timing-wise, and just the unfortunate luck of Joel Embiid here. Just another weird injury.
This guy has the absolute worst luck. I don't think there's any debating that. A couple of years ago, it was the Bell's palsy condition. We saw him going through in that first round against the New York Knicks. If you remember that was a wild one. A couple of years before that, he tore his thumb in the playoffs, got caught in a jersey. That was the same playoffs when Pascal Siakam hit him with an elbow in the face, and he had the orbital fracture. He's had plenty of orbital fractures.
Yeah, he's on both sides of his face.
Exactly, and he's had to wear so many masks. Yep. And that's all before, the knee ligaments and the injuries in the knees, and missing 2 full years because of foot problems. He's missed a lot. And I mean, there's just so many body parts that he's gone through. So how long he's going to be out, a debatable question. as we go into the playoffs, you can imagine his first round series, if there is one for the Philadelphia 76ers, if they get past the play-in, he won't be there for that.
I wouldn't think so.
No. But, considering that after an incredible practice, Nick Nurse said, we had an overnight, apparently Joel Embiid was in bed and called the Sixers doctors and said, hey, something's going on here.
It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah. And so Nick Nurse, unfortunately, he thought we're getting ready for the playoffs. All of a sudden that happens. Yeah. So there's that leading into a full week off before a playoff series. I mean, off. I should say off. A full week of recovery because the playoffs don't start until next Saturday. So he's already undergone the surgery. So there is that.
Yeah, but they are very likely going to have to come through the play-in.
Yep.
Like, they are not going to have one of these playoff seeds, and then you're like, well, there's a whole week off for those teams that are in the top 6 in each conference. But it's looking like they're going to have to come through that. So they're going to have to win a game or 2, no matter where they fall, without Joel Embiid, we think.
Yeah.
Again, no real
and win a playoff series without Joel Embiid, most likely.
Look, there's no chance, is what I'm getting at.
That they're going to win a playoff series?
I wouldn't even have them winning any of these play-in games without him.
Oh, they could do that. The crappy part is because it's a play-in and you're playing it for the 7th and the 8th seed, you're going to be playing the Pistons or the Celtics if they get through.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be different if we could be looking at a potential Cavs or maybe the Knicks. But at this point, because I was looking forward to Joel Embiid going up against Mitchell Robinson, that matchup, which they had a couple of years ago when he was battling Bell's palsy, and you could see that his mouth was droopy. He had problems blinking in that series. But now, yes, I would say they could still get through the play-in and get into the playoffs. But now we're talking a Celtics opponent, or we're talking the Pistons. So I think, yes, we're here. Unfortunately, Nick Nurse says, oh, man, we're feeling good. VJ Edgecombe, apparently his mom called him. I don't know if you saw that. His mom called him. He woke up, his mom said, "Hey, is this fake that Joel Embiid is going to have to undergo surgery for his appendix?" And VJ Edgecombe had no idea. He was taking his afternoon nap, and he woke up and said, "Whoa, I couldn't believe this, but it's not fake, Mom."
It's crazy.
Thankfully that at least you don't believe everything you read on the internet, Mom. But
way to fact check.
Yeah, still, this is unbelievable.
Joel Embiid is a real life Cavity Sam from the Operation board game.
Yeah.
He is. You went through a lot of it. 2018, orbital fracture and a concussion. 2019, he had an illness. He may have had the poops against Marc Gasol and the Raptors. He had knee tendonitis. 2021, torn meniscus. 2022, another orbital fracture. He had the torn thumb, like you said, getting caught in the jersey. 2023, knee sprain. 2024, Bell's palsy. And now a week before the playoffs, with a team that people were starting to get like a little excited about. They could be a dangerous lower seed with a healthy Embiid, a healthy Paul George,
right.
Maxey, VJ, this squad, Nick Nurse, haven't been there, done that with other teams. Now he's got the appendicitis. Like, you could tell me right now he's got a small horse near his hip joint or a pencil in his forearm. And I'd be like, yeah, I believe it. It's just so wild. It's always something. And they're the most random things.
They're pretty random.
Yeah. So not good for Sixers fans here.
No. There's no saying, oh, okay, maybe he can fight through something. Not in this position where they are in the standings. That hurts. It is going to be on Paul George. You said that. He is looking good. Is it a positive that he had 25 games off because he was suspended? So he was going to be fresh for the playoffs?
Probably at his age. Yeah.
Considering what he looks like, he's not peak Paul George. He'll never be peak Paul George, but he can create. He looks like a damn good defender. But he was going to be so perfect in that role because he didn't have to have so much offense on his shoulders with Joel Embiid out there every single possession. He was just going to have to come through. And now he's going to have to do a lot.
So you still sort of believe, though, they could win their way into the playoffs through the play-in.
We're talking
either winning one or two games.
We're talking Magic, Heat, Hornets. Those are the three battles, the three teams that they could be battling in a couple games. Yeah, I think they could. I mean,
they could. Of course, it's only one game. You know, in a series, if those were like 5-game series, 7-game series, I'd probably be taking every team, maybe besides the Miami Heat, against them. I'd take the Hornets. I would take the Magic, who have sort of got things going. But you're right. It's one or two games.
It is one or two games. So, that being said, they go and play the Houston Rockets last night, immediately after this news.
Yeah.
And it's a really bad start to that game. They did fight. They did come through in the fourth quarter to make it a close game. We'll get to that game a little bit later on. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Is it just a bad game because of all this bad news and because of the bad news around Joel Embiid? Or is it because the Houston Rockets are really good? We could still see them get through to the playoffs. But where they are lying now, as opposed to a couple of weeks ago when it sure felt like they were going to take the 6th seed, kick those Raptors out, and even get up to the 5 seed, and we could see them against the Cavs. It'd be very different.
Yeah.
It'd be totally different with a healthy Embiid. But this is just, it's a recap. It is Operation, the board game one more time with Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Do your kids play that? Do you have that game?
I don't. I see it in the stores, and I say, why don't we have that?
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I played it recently. Maybe Daryl and Lisa's kids had it up in Canada when I was there. Yeah, I think so. I will say, like we talked about, like, is he going to come back? Won't he? You know, whatever. Who knows? Again, is it 2 to 3 weeks? Probably. But I want to give credit to Nora, who I told her yesterday. I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this Joel Embiid news. Appendicitis, had surgery. She said, well, he can come back pretty quick. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, a couple F1 drivers did. I was like, what? I guess Carlos Sainz in 2024 and Alex Albon a couple years prior both had this sort of emergency, which it usually is. You're like in that pain and like you go get the surgery. And they returned to racing. Now, this is racing. I get it. You're in a car. You're not playing NBA basketball. But it's a lot of like, you know, physical toll on your body in a race car. It really is. They came back pretty quickly. I think it was like they missed a race and came back. Mm-hmm. Carlos Sainz, I think, won after the surgery and came back. Anyway,
that's a great sign for Joel.
I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, hold on. I'm like fact checking my wife. Like, yeah, right. Give me a break. Oh, damn, she's right. So different, a race car and playing NBA basketball. But I guess I'm getting to, like, could it be 2 weeks? Maybe.
This is surgery through the abdomen.
Yeah.
And through your core.
Yeah.
You don't need your core as much for driving as much. I mean, you're in there, and there's
a lot of force, a lot of G's.
Force. Yeah. a little different. I think
But you
being
can
on
take a
the floor.
shot. Yeah, obviously a big guy like Embiid.
Yeah.
That's going to be
I
take a toll.
thought you meant a shot, as in you take a little booster shot to fight through it.
Hey, are you saying Carlos Sainz cheated? In
No,
2024?
No, just
To win the Saudi Arabian GP?
No, just to overcome the pain.
That's what it was.
To overcome the pain, shoot it. Our man Esh literally had to go through this surgery not long ago.
Right.
And he was told you can't do anything for a month.
Yeah.
It all depends on the circumstance. And Esh was not out there playing ball and schooling guys for that first month. Like we're asking for Joel Embiid. If we're talking a month, that's 2 playoff series.
Oh, yeah, come on.
So we're talking about the
I don't think
Sixers
we're gonna
getting.
see him.
Yeah, most likely not. And you mentioned like OG Anunoby. He didn't play. He had to have surgery the day before the playoffs
That's
in
right.
2019. He didn't play in those playoffs at all.
Right.
He wasn't really part of the rotation anyways.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't part of the Raptors needed bunch. He would have been playing a little bit, but he wasn't needed. He could have played in the finals. But that's like 6 weeks down the road.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not going to see Joel Embiid. It's very, very unlikely because how are the Sixers going to win multiple series without this guy?
Crazy stuff.
It is crazy.
Let's get to some of the games from last night. Had a good one. This last week or so feels like maybe 1 or 2 games a night are like, ooh, this got some playoff intensity to it. And last night's game was the Knicks staying alive in the race for the number 2 seed in the East, beating the Celtics in Jason Tatum's return to Madison Square Garden. No Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. That obviously is a huge piece off the board, but fun game back and forth. And Josh Hart was the hero last night, coming through 15 points in the final frame, including 8 in the final 2 minutes. He had a pair of dagger threes that sealed the 3-1 series win for the Knicks versus the Celtics.
Yeah, those 2 shots in the last 40 seconds, 2 big splash threes. Camera cut to Ben Stiller in the front row. Wow. It is one of those games. We see a lot of Joel Embiid injuries. We also see Josh Hart come through in moments like this, right?
Yeah.
A late game. And so you're going to need that. That being said, I consider this a Celtics win without Jaylen Brown for him to be out as they manage his legs, getting him ready for the postseason. To have guys like Peyton Pritchard coming through and Baylor Shiren coming through, to getting them right till the end of the game without Jaylen Brown. And Jason Tatum, I thought, wasn't his perfect game. He was out there turning the ball over.
Couple sloppy turnovers late.
Yeah.
Good game, though.
Yeah.
Overall,
so he was 7 for 21. It wasn't perfect. He had 6 turnovers. A couple times, guys just couldn't catch the ball. Vucevic, catch that thing. Sam Hauser in the corner, catch that thing. There was that one with 3 minutes left where Peyton Pritchard was sort of led with a bad pass.
That was a bad pass.
Yeah.
It's always a passer's fault, man.
Yeah.
Always.
It was out there. I mean, Peyton Pritchard wants to be beyond the 3-point line and take a deep 3, and that was towards the sideline, and it actually got sort of in the way of the referee got in the way of the pass, and Pritchard was mad at the referee. But I thought Tatum's passes weren't perfect. He was not bang on.
His handle was a little loose at the end. Hart got the jump ball situation the one time, which they ended up winning the jump ball too. So they basically got that possession. Yeah, not a turnover, but you know what I mean, sort of.
So I thought Tatum was not giving it absolutely everything he will be in the postseason. Like defensively, I think he could have recovered different ways. He could have got in there for passes in different ways. But I think he is also getting ready for the postseason, like all of us NBA podcasters. He is considering where he's been. Like you said, this is his first game back in Madison Square Garden, so he's just not 100% right quite yet. So I think he is warming up. But for them to get to the end of this game with Jaylen Brown out and your 3 guys off the bench and Pritchard, Shireman, and Vooch coming through, just an 8-man rotation, Jordan Walsh being thrown into the starting lineup. I thought this was a good game for them overall. And for the Knicks to need a couple splashes from Josh Hart, he'll have to do that in the postseason. Yep. But I thought just the clicking of both Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby just was lacking a little bit. Like OG didn't have a good shooting night. Bridges didn't shoot a lot. He was 4 for 4, but that's all he shot. Towns wasn't great. So I didn't think, I thought the Mitchell Robinson insertion into the lineup was really, really big. He into the second unit, I should say, into the lineup. Here he comes. Yeah. He really helped out the starters, and they got there to the end. But all in all, fun game, playoff game. But Celtics feel good going into the postseason, I think.
Yeah, Baylor Baggins, man, coming through. Sharman was feeling himself. He was talking a lot of shit there at MSG, as he should have been. He couldn't miss. When he hit that one, relocation three late in the game, it's like, holy moly, he was feeling it. It's a good sign for the Celtics that he played well, because he's going to get minutes here, I think, in the postseason. And then Vooch going a little bit better. That was a good sign probably for them. But Brunson, too, this is like a playoff preview, I thought, for Brunson. It's like, oh, yeah. Cool, collected, as always. Comes through in the fourth. He had the step back three, got to the free throw line. He set up Hart with a beauty dime inside late. So him and Hart, I thought, took over this game late and got them to the victory. The Celtics are probably not panicking too much, though. Their magic number to clinch the number 2 seed remains at 1 game with 2 games left. At home to the visiting Pelicans and then the Magic on Sunday. The Knicks host 2 playoff-hungry teams, let's call them, in the Raptors, which is tonight, and then the Charlotte Hornets on Sunday. So, the Celtics are still in the driver's seat here, I think, for the number 2 seed, but this made things a lot more interesting, closer. Something like 14 seeds are still up for grabs as we get into the final weekend of the NBA season. Only 2. The number 1 seeds are the only ones actually locked in. Everything else, there's still some movement from one side or the other, depending on your seeding. So, sort of fun.
Well, the Spurs are locked into the 2 seed in the West. How could they not be? They're locked into the 2 seed.
Okay.
Because they're 3 games back of the Thunder.
Okay, yeah, 14. So how many are there total? There's 20 seeds.
Oh, that's why it's
That's
14.
why. Okay.
Yeah,
20
we got
seeds
this
in
rare
total.
situation where there's 20 seeds.
Right. So
even though,
6 teams are in their spots, I guess.
Yeah, the Suns are locked into the 7th
Yes, that's
seed.
right. Okay, now the Wolves, I think, are even 6, so this makes some sense here. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
14 of the 20 are still
Of
up in the air. That makes a little more sense.
That makes more sense. But what also feels like inevitable, like we're locking into the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs, is this series. Celtics, Knicks.
Yeah.
It sure feels that way.
We're running it back.
We'll get to the Raptors talk, and they play the Knicks tonight.
Yeah.
But if it was Knicks Raptors or if it was Knicks Hawks, because that 5-6 seeding in the Eastern Conference is still up for grabs.
Yep.
Raptors Hawks currently tied at the 5th seed. You would still be taking the Celtics and the Knicks. That being said, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Those other games, I'll throw a few at you. The Raptors move closer to a playoff berth. They beat the slumping Heat, 128-114. They just own the Miami Heat. Yeah. LeBron had 26, led the Lakers past the Warriors. No Steph Curry, but big win for the Lakers in seeding. And then the Rockets beat the 76ers, like you said earlier, 113-102. That's their 8th straight win. So they are hot right now in Houston. Let's show you the playoff matchups and then maybe any of those games you want to talk about, Tass, because, right now, the 4-5 in both sides, it is Lakers Rockets in the West, then Cavs Raptors in the East, 3-6 Denver Minnesota, and then it's the Knicks and the Hawks currently, and then you see all the other teams there in their playoff positions and the 1 and 2 seeds. But any thoughts from those games or just what we're looking at here on YouTube when it comes to the playoff matchups?
Well, you said the Nuggets are in the 3rd seed right now, and that's where the Thunder want to keep the Denver Nuggets. It is hilarious. Tonight, the Thunder are playing the Nuggets, but they're sitting everybody against the Nuggets. So they win. They want them to win so they can play the Spurs in the 2nd round before they face the Thunder.
Yeah, you're saying you don't want Denver in the 4-5 because you, in theory, would be playing them in the 2nd round if you're OKC. Yeah.
You'd rather see the Nuggets play the Spurs in the 2nd round.
Let them beat each other up. Yeah.
One of them gets eliminated, and so you only have to battle with one in a conference finals rather than having to deal with 2.
To go through both,
Yeah, for sure.
That's smart.
The Thunder are sitting everybody, and I love the listing of every guy who's out tonight. It's Shea, Oblique, Hartenstein, Calf. Everybody has an injury. Then you see a Caruso, rest. We're not trying to hide it, dude. We're sitting these guys to get ready for the playoffs. They have that 1 seed, so they don't necessarily have to play these guys. Are they going to get fined for sitting guys in game 81 of the season? No, I don't think that falls under the criteria of the rules, but it's the smart thing to do. They want to wait to have those teams beat each other up. There's that. I think that's funny. I do want to give the Raptors plenty of love, not just because we started this show in Toronto, but because they look a lot different than the team last week that lost to the Sacramento Kings. It sure felt like, I assumed, especially with a healthy Joel Embiid, that they were going to fall to a play-in spot.
Yeah, that looked like a very bad loss in terms of their playoff seeding at the time, that Kings loss.
But now
it was like, ooh, that one could come back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, it felt that way, but now they mopped the Heat 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
So they got lots of good things. Brandon Ingram obviously was cooking in this game. He was getting the rolls. He was looking up. Wow, it's just his night letting go of the ball. I do think Andrew Wiggins getting into foul trouble did hurt in this game. He only played 20 seconds in the second quarter when the Raptors were able to spread this game out a little bit. And Wiggins was a +6 in all his minutes. He was needed, and he was good in that first game that the Raptors were able to beat the Heat. He had 24 points, but just so many good things for the Raps. I think it showed that they love each other. Remember earlier on, I guess it was just like a month ago when we had that incident when DeJounte Murray was standing over Jamal Shead and nobody came to Jamal Shead's defense. In this one, we had a Pelly Larson little push of Scotty Barnes. Everybody running up. RJ Barrett running up. I'm going to help you out, even though it wasn't the same.
No.
But you could see the love, the passion.
There's a fight, yeah.
Yeah, and Colin Murray Boyles, speaking of fight, that dude, this rookie who's been fighting through injuries, he had 17 points, shot perfectly from the floor, but you can just see him on the bench. Like he is hurt, man. His back, his quad, but he's fighting through it. So there's a lot of guys fighting through it. I think Emmanuel Quickley, even though he didn't have a good game, he was battling plantar fasciitis, and he was walking in a boot for a while, according to our man Michael Grange, who saw it happening. And this is his second game back, and so that's great. I thought maybe he won't be ready to go for the postseason, but here we are. All these guys will be ready for a playoff series. We're going to get a playoff series for the Toronto Raptors for the first time in a long time. I mean, we say that it'll happen. It'll happen. Hopefully, they'll be fighting through it. Not necessarily a victory in terms of a full playoff series victory, but
probably not.
But
and here's why:
they'll be fighting
because this is an insane tweet from Tim Reynolds. The Raptors are 26-0. Okay, 26-0 versus the Hawks, the Heat, the Pacers, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Jazz, the Blazers, the Warriors, and the Grizzlies. They're 0-20 against the Celtics, the Knicks, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Spurs, and the Wolves. They're 19-15 versus everybody else. That's insane. Now, in the 26-0, there was some decent teams. The Hawks, obviously, who they just have their number, and the Cavs is the surprising one. That's the one where you're like, what? But they're playing in MSG tonight, the Raptors are, and they're trying not to go 0-5 versus the Knicks, who have had their number this year. They're, for the most part, really good against the average to bad teams in this league, and they're quite bad against the good teams. I've said this now for months here on the show. But the Cavs one is interesting. I guess they want that matchup, 4-5. I still have very little confidence they could win a series against them. Could it be competitive? Yeah. I think it might be a bit of a test for them. So we'll see if they can hold on to the 5th seed or if they fall to the 6th seed, because it's looking likely they'll be 5 or 6.
Yeah, we really want to see them against the Cavs. There's no doubt, considering they won all 3 of those games. Yeah. I mean, they were in November. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was pre-Harden.
Yeah.
They were going through some stuff themselves. So it could be them. Now, the Hawks have the Cavs and the Heat for their final 2 games. So those are tough games, considering you go into Miami for that last one. It's not a lock that the Hawks are going to win that game. So the Raptors could easily beat the Nets, who they have in their final game of the season.
Should be a W.
Yeah, so this is it could easily be Raptors Cavs in round 1. So that's a good sign. I know those games in November don't necessarily matter, but I'd rather see the Cavs than the Knicks.
Yeah, tonight I know Toronto clinches the 5 seed with a win and losses by Atlanta and Orlando. That would have to happen. I saw Hollinger had the huge breakdown of, like, if this happens, then this is a lock for this team. If this happens, and this happens, then this means this team is the 3rd seed or the 4th seed. Like, it took him 3 tweets to explain everything in the Eastern Conference just for tonight. The West is a little, makes a little bit more sense in terms of tonight. In fact, I could just tell you, the Nuggets clinched the 3rd seed with a win and a Lakers loss. The Lakers clinched the 4th seed with a win and a Houston loss. The Clippers clinched the 8th spot with a win and at Portland. So that's a big game, actually. Clippers, Blazers, playing for sort of 8-9 location in the play-in. But the East, I mean, I'm not going to read it all. This is ridiculous. It's a mess.
It is a mess.
Any other thoughts, though, on last night's games before we get to awards watch?
Not many. It was great to see Vladimir Guerrero at the Raptors game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. out there in the front row, throwing out T-shirts. Just felt like a playoffs, and here we go.
How are the Jays doing? Started poorly?
Averaging.
Okay.
Classic Jays.
Okay.
I would have loved to ask Vladimir Guerrero. Actually, I'll save it for best of the week.
Okay.
But anyways, it was great to see. It just felt like playoffs, and him showing up. Felt like playoffs. We are going to see playoffs in Toronto for the first time in years.
2022?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep,
Okay.
Yeah.
Been a while. All right, let's get to our final NBA awards watch. We're using the odds from FanDuel, and we're just going to sort of set the table here with only 2 nights left of the regular season of where it stands with all 6 of the major awards. Apologies to the Clutch Player of the Year award. I think SGA is just going to win it anyway.
Right.
And it's like, who cares? All right, first one, it's the MVP. It looks like SGA is going to win this. So, minus 7,000 favorite on FanDuel. Wemby plus 3,300, Jokic plus 7,500. My favorite part about showing these to everybody on YouTube and the podcast listeners, I will try and go through them all. These are short lists now. It's like we're at the point where it's like in MVP case, it's only 3 guys. I'm not cutting this off. That's all you can vote on. Mm-hmm. Some of these other ones, like Rookie of the Year, it's a 2-man race. A few others have a little more guys. But anyway, SGA, we just had a player poll on The Athletic. I think he got nearly 40% of the vote. He's winning this thing. It does feel like, at least.
I don't think there's any doubt. He should be winning this thing. And I understand there's Wemby fans out there and there's Jokic fans out there to support those 2 guys. Shea's just kicking ass in those minutes he's on the floor, beating the opponents by 16.5 points per 100 possessions and the non-garbage time minutes. They would have won 68 games if he played all the games. They still have the most wins in the NBA, and that's why, and it's because he's played more games than all the other candidates in this. He's played more games than Wemby and Jokic and Luka and everybody, and I think that does matter, considering this is a team sport, and he is Mr. Consistency, and maybe he's not the sexiest. Maybe he doesn't have the highlights of Victor Wembanyama, but what really matters is that his team's at the top. He's played the most games. He started it off incredibly well with that double overtime win against the Houston Rockets on opening night. If he doesn't pull that out, without Jalen Williams in the lineup, if he doesn't pull that out, things are very different, I think. I know that's just one teeny tiny game, but that's who Mr. Consistency is. That's what he does.
Yeah,
just wins, period. Yeah, that was really, really important for that team, and that's why they're the top seed. So I know people aren't going to say, ain't it fun? It's not as fun in part because you're giving it to a repeat winner, and it's not as sexy as Trey brought up, and we created a short. He is a metronome in that he produces. He's Mr. Consistent. He gets into the mid-range, and he hits shots, and a high ratio of his clips are not highlights or extravagant, exquisite, sexy clips, but who cares when it comes to this? Yeah. Again, we could have an MVP, most valuable player, but you could still have a most outstanding player and a sexiest player. We could create the sexiest is not what they would call it. They need to call it something else.
I'd love to see Adam Silver give the sexiest player of the year.
He comes out in his Skims and presents
sponsored by Skims for sure.
Beauty. Touche.
Fixes in,
either way, he deserves it. Don't you think?
Yes, he does. And he's going to win it, and he's going to go back-to-back, and he is going to cement himself as the greatest Canadian basketball player of all time. I already thought he was for a couple of years, if I'm being completely honest. I got tweets that show that, and I had a lot of pushback on that. Oh, what? Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. Yeah, I get it. I watched Steve Nash's entire career. He's my hero. I love him. This guy's better. He just is. And now, so much for that argument. He's going to have to do the exact same thing that Steve did and go back-to-back MVPs. By the way, might win back-to-back titles, back-to-back finals MVPs and that too. So he's deserving. Look, a couple other things. He's doubled as much as anyone else in this league, SGA is, and he still barely turns the ball over. He ranks 96th percentile in turnover rate. That's pretty amazing. He's also a good defender. I think it gets overlooked because there's a lot of awesome defenders on his team in Wallace and Caruso and Dort, but he was maybe overrated last year defensively, but he's underrated, I think, now. Really good at the point of attack. You can't go wrong with any of these picks. If you had a ballot and you filled it out and you went SGA or you went Wemby or you went Jokic, basketball poetry said it best. This is like choosing between the sea, the sky, and soil with these three guys. They're all important and they're all amazing. Take your pick, but I think he's going to win it. I think the odds basically illustrate that. And the player polls and Bontemps straw poll. It's pretty astonishing though. It's pretty amazing. It's going to be weird when you're like, Jokic did what? He did what?
Right.
And he might finish third in this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and some people definitely taking Jokic. I get that. I do think games played does matter. I do think
it has to when you split hairs. Yeah, it has to.
Yeah, and it should.
Yeah.
It really should because those create wins. And I know the Nuggets were pretty good without Jokic, but you look at where the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the standings, and that's important. And that's why Shea, compared to Nash, is very different in where they are in the standings. Mm-hmm. They're in the one spot. And you're right about the defense. And he is a part of the league's best defense. And he's really good at that. Obviously, there's so many other guys, and it's not even part of the discussion when it comes to defense. Shea is not, even though he is that good. And he can recover, and he will block somebody by the rim because he's that good, because he's tapped into the rotations and what the schemes are for Dagnall. Because that's what a good leader does. It is a team sport. Mm-hmm. As much as, we just want to look at Jokic and all that. I mean, it does matter, I think, where you're on the standings and what you're producing and how many games have been played. And
his all-NBA teammate barely played. That's another part of this. Like, that gets completely overlooked. I guess just because the Thunder are an awesome team. J-Dub played 30-odd games, and they're still the number one seed. So, I think a lot of other guys, MVP candidates, if that's the case, everybody builds up that player. Jaylen Brown's a good example. And it's amazing. It's astonishing. No Tatum, it's holy crap. He still led this team to 50 wins. Mm-hmm. That is something, but I don't know. It doesn't get talked about a lot, in my opinion, with SGA. Mm-hmm. That is a really good player that they missed the entire season. They didn't miss a beat because he's your leader and he's so steady and he gives you 30 plus. So I don't know. He's going to win it. Yeah. It's awesome.
And it also happened last year with Chet Holmgren. He only played in 32 games. I guess the problem for a lot of people out there is who is their second best player. That's always it's not a clear cut. It's Jalen or it's Chet. While with Brown and Tatum, it's clear cut.
To me, it feels like people think, not everybody, but a majority of people think if you took SGA off the Thunder, I think a lot of people, and I don't know if they're right or wrong, but they think the Thunder would still win 40 games, 40 plus games, 45 games. I don't know if I believe that. I actually don't, but I think people think that. And then people go, you took Wemby off the Spurs, you took Jokic off the Nuggets. They're bottom of the barrel, right? They're a 25-win team. Do you think that's fair, what people, I think or project with these teams? Well, and comes into the valuable part of most valuable player?
Yeah, sure.
I think so.
And when some people argue that.
But I think they just discredit SGA. They just go, yeah, you took him off, they'd still be good. I don't think they would. I don't. I think he's a big, big reason why they win 60-plus games and won the title last year.
I would love to see what the Nuggets are with just Jamal Murray leading their team. I know we all say, they're bad without Jokic. But as I said, they recovered very well for this one time in Jokic's career where he missed a long period. And I would love to see what the Spurs are without Wemby for, a full couple months or whatever. He still played a ton and he's still very deserving as an MVP.
Oh my God.
But he's going to win
The fact that he is 22 years old and even in this conversation is nuts in Wemby.
Yeah.
We're he's runner up or top 3 in the league is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And he's proven that.
I was not ready. I was not ready preseason.
No, I wasn't either.
I know. Trey threw him at the MVP table immediately.
Yeah.
We're talking about year 3 here. I just go based on what I've seen, and I was totally, I'm a little biased. I hang on to the past a little too much. The first time we saw him out in Summer League and he couldn't fit through that doorway, and I thought he was going to bang his head and he was terrible in game 1. I just, all that to say, I knew he was obviously getting better, but I didn't think he was this. I mean, I don't know if anybody thought he was this, especially coming off last year when he played basically half the season in 46 games last year.
Yeah.
So to see him do this and be consistent, not as consistent as Mr. Consistency, but still very, 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 very good. So looking forward to him winning plenty.
Well, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year if he gets the games played under his belt. Let's go to that one. He's minus 4,000. Now, this should be minus 400,000, but he still has to play. One more game, right? To qualify.
Oh, boy.
So I think he's going to. I think they're going to roll him out there for 20 plus minutes in one of these final games for him to get this, because I think he wants it, and I think that's enough for the Spurs organization to play him.
He just has to come play one of these last 2 games and play 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's simple as that.
Yeah.
So, yes, he'll do that. Gosh, I was going through the exceptions for this award. You're supposed to be able to get to 65, but there are exceptions.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It'll do your head in.
Not fun.
No.
I mean, you can play in one exception. You can play 15 to 19-minute games and have those granted if you have up to 2 qualified games. So you can play 63 regular games and have those get you to 65. Or you can play in the in-season tournament final.
Right. So it did count, because I said that the other day, and I said it with, I wasn't 100% sure, but I was like, I think they're counting that as a game played, even though nothing else counts in terms of scoring records and stuff like that.
Yeah, apparently it does.
Okay, I thought so.
If he doesn't win, they will change the rule, and then we can refer to it as the Victor Wembanyama rule. Like, we're never going to have these 65 games, these hard 65 games. I say hard, but there are exceptions. Anyway, whatever. It'll be the Wemby
I think
rule.
he's getting there. And
Probably.
So the only real drama remaining is, like, will he be unanimous Defensive Player of the Year? Like, will everybody on their ballot have Wemby 1? Or will there be some Rudy Gobert, Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes, somebody else?
No, I don't think so.
You think it'll be like everybody?
Everybody votes,
right.
after the regular season. Everybody has their ballot. But as our man Dan Devine said on Yahoo, they do not vote until, I should say they have their ballot. I shouldn't say that.
I don't think they do.
No, they don't. They don't. They don't have their ballot until regular season is over. So it's not like they're just throwing it in there now and somebody's saying, Wemby doesn't play enough, Rudy Gobert. Wemby will be on the ballot if he does play. My question is, are they going to hold him out because he's got a rib contusion? Just he's got a rib issue. So if they're going to be cautious, then they do hold him out. However, they probably just want to get him there and let him win it if he's able to. So I do think he'll play, and he'll be unanimous, I think.
Yeah. All right, Rookie of the Year. This is a fun one. This is a 2-man race. At last check, this was me doing this yesterday afternoon on FanDuel. Minus 120. Con Knipple, the favorite. Cooper Flagg, plus 100. So very, very close. This was Cons for a majority of the season. Then Cooper scored the 51 points. He followed up with 45. Then the odds flipped suddenly, and Cooper was the favorite. Well, we're back here to Con Knipple being the slight favorite task. If you had the ballot, how would you fill this one out with a couple days left?
I think I'd be part of the minority. I would still vote Con Knipple. I would still hang in. I would hang in despite Cooper and what he's been doing the last few weeks. The 50 spot. I get it. I think Con has just been Mr. Consistency from the rookie side. He's played in almost every single game. Like very, very. He's at 79 with 2 games remaining, if I'm correct. He's way better than just a 3-point shooter. I'm tired of that argument. Whenever he sees an advantage, if he's a little bit bigger, that he'll take that person into the mid-range or the post. The negative being he ain't Cooper Flagg's size, so he doesn't have that advantage over everybody. But the 3-point percentage, of course, it's better than Cooper Flagg's. The 2-point percentage is better than Cooper Flagg's by a significant amount. I would call it a significant amount for this guy who's not known as that. And he's a good playmaker. I still think whether he's literally setting picks and then being sort of an outlet to receiving that ball and making passes, or just having to create as a secondary playmaker or whatever, I put some stock into their record. I think that's somewhat important.
Okay, that's interesting. I wanted to ask you that because usually with Rookie of the Year, we don't give a shit about that. The team's success or lack of it. Because I guess when we're debating Rookie of the Years, they're usually on bad teams and you're just like, well, who's the best rook, either stat wise or eye tests or whatever. But you are putting something into it. You're saying between this one, again, if this is a close one in terms of their numbers and stuff like that, yeah, Khan's a little more efficient, but Cooper is the more well-rounded player and does have better stats, like counting stats. But you're saying the Hornets' success and the impact he's had on winning basketball, that makes you veer a little bit more towards Knipple, which I think is fair. But some people say, now you're moving the goalposts, like no one cared about that ever. So.
Yeah, listen, Cooper is going to be the better player when all is said and done.
Yeah.
When we look at this thing and say,
oh
yeah, the rookies drafted in this draft, yeah, Cooper's most likely going to be the better player. He's grown a lot over the season. But the Hornets have been ridiculously consistent because of Concanipple. They started poorly. I mean, they're 14-26 through the first 40 games.
4-14 to start out of the gate.
Yeah. And so after those first 40 games where they're 14-26, they're 29-11 after that. And that's because of the growth in this season of LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. And I think a lot of that is on Concanipple's shoulders. I think just because he's been in all 79 games, I shouldn't say all 79 of their 80 games, like he has been a rock. And so I'm factoring in when I'm watching, I think that should factor in. Like I've watched October and November and January of Concanipple, and I said he is easily the best player back then because Cooper started slowly.
And they did him no favors.
No.
They had no point guard.
That was a mistake.
So then obviously they have the huge, still the fallout of the Luka trade and all that, and Anthony Davis then being traded. And then they leaned into tanking. I mean, I'm saying he's been dealt a tough hand here.
Yeah,
for a number one.
Yeah,
but he's been great.
Yeah, and he's been dealt a tough hand as far as winning the Rookie of the Year. So if Jason Kidd, as their head coach, said, D'Angelo Russell, you're the starting point guard, and Cooper Flagg, you're playing off the ball a little bit more, that would have just started his season way better. Then you can say from the other side, but Jason Kidd put him in these fires to help him progress faster, in a way, in terms of year 2 and year 3 and all that. And then I guess there's some truth to that.
Could be. Yeah.
But as far as just watching this season, Concanipple is just a rock. And I'm a basketball geek, so I watch the basketball. Concanipple was a rock, and I think despite, would you say they're 4-10, 14-26?
Yeah, 4-14 to start.
4-14, excuse me. And 14-26.
But he was fine, by the way. I mean, his stats right out of the gate, and his efficiency right out of the gate were good.
He was their best player.
Yeah,
he was their best player.
I
still think he's their best player. I know LaMelo is awesome. I know LaMelo's awesome. I know Brandon Miller's awesome, and they were not. They just weren't holding their own, their responsibility to start this season. I give a lot of that credit to their growth, to Concanipple, because that guy was a rock. In Summer League, he was a rock, and he's been a rock all season long.
But do you want a rock or do you want a diamond?
That's nice. That's nice, man.
You kept saying rock, so I kept thinking of it.
Yeah. Go digging for, if you want to dig, get a diamond, man. I get it. He's going to have a better career. He's been so awesome. I think the defense is a little bit overblown. Like, oh, he's good defensively.
He's got room for improvement. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I was going to say something. Oh, did you see LaMelo Ball? I don't think I'm stepping on any worst of the week toes here, but Concanipple set the record, the rookie record for 3-pointers made in a season, which is amazing. I mean, that's something right there. And so he comes into the locker room and all the guys hit him with the water bottle, right? The classic water bottles, just soak the guy.
Mm-hmm.
LaMelo Ball. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
He picked up the mop bucket.
Ew.
He picked up the mop bucket, ran over and tried to dump it, and did sort of successfully dump it on Concanipple.
Weird.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's really gross. And it gets heavy too. And it's like, it almost clocks Canipple. It also is like, if you told me somebody did that, I'd be like, and you're like, guess who did that? I'd be like, probably LaMelo Ball. Yeah. You'd be on the short list.
Now, is it clean water in that bucket?
I don't know. I couldn't tell with the water. I know
you can't be able to tell, but maybe
maybe
the employee who's doing that is cleaning it afterwards, so they're just prepared, like to soak up all that crap.
Maybe.
But there's a
Maybe.
lot of water in there.
There's a ton. It went everywhere. You could hear somebody go, "Watch your clothes." Oh, like because all their locker rooms are right there.
All
Like
those
it's a bucket. I'm talking about the giant yellow mop bucket you see in schools and stuff like that.
Watch your clothes.
Yeah, it looked dirty to me, but fascinating. LaMelo Ball.
Watch your clothes.
101, man.
It must have been the equipment manager. I mean, the person who washes all the jerseys. Like it was not a player.
Well, I thought-
player who's concerned about somebody else cleaning and drying.
No, I thought
washing and drying.
I thought it was a player yelling about their own clothes, like not their jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, watch my cool jeans, man. You're gonna get mop water all over them. Anyway, wild stuff. All right, most improved player odds. We got some more names on this board, down to 4. I was a little shocked that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the odds-on favorite, minus 1,500. Then Jalen Duren plus 1,300, Avdia plus 7,500, and Jalen Johnson, long shot at plus 17,500. So Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Tassie, I mean, he has more than doubled his previous career scoring average of 8.5 points per game by dropping nearly 21 points per game now for the Hawks. And he's doing it on an excellent 61% true shooting percentage. He's also the second best player on this Hawks team, right? I mean, it's Jalen Johnson, but I think it's not after him. But were you shocked by it looking like he's going to win this thing, sort of in a runaway?
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of these odds are just sort of dependent on timing. Recency bias is a part of it.
Of course.
Because Nickeil Alexander-Walker has been kicking ass, and this was Denny Avdia's award for, I don't know, the first half of the season?
I think there was a stretch where maybe Jalen Johnson had it.
Yeah.
Avdia had it. Jalen Duren, I think, had it. But you're right. This last, I don't know, call it 4 or 5 weeks here. It's Nas to lose.
But it isn't just because of recency bias. It is because of those stats that you threw out there. I don't know if Ansi Saleh, who runs the Hawks front office, saw this coming from Nickeil Alexander-Walker when he signed him to a ridiculously good deal, 4 years, $62 million. So he's making
that is a steal now.
15.5 per year. Would you expect 22 on really good percentages from almost everywhere?
He's on fire from 3. Takes a lot. He's still a good defender.
Yeah. No,
this is shocking.
So
even people that were high on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, especially as we saw in the postseason, which I thought he showed something, right?
Yeah.
Which they obviously saw, and then the Wolves got squeezed from financially, so it's like he had to go. But I don't think anybody had him scoring 21, 22 a night.
No,
I don't think so.
To go from 9 to 21.
Yeah.
I was looking at Jalen Johnson's number, so I hesitated to say his percentages are ridiculously good because I saw 3-point percentage, but when you watch the games, the guy's 3-point percentage is ridiculously hot. He's so good at coming off catch and shoots. He's not just, hey, I'm bringing the ball up and I'm firing. No. Quinn Snyder has him bought into moving off the ball, getting it to Jalen Johnson in his hands. And so, I thought Jalen Johnson, considering he's played 71 games, I was hesitant to anoint him the guy for the Hawks because he has been injured in years past. The last 2 years. So that was part of why I thought Jalen Johnson would take it over Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I thought Jalen Duren's growth would be enough. I thought Denny Avdia. But Avdia's growth has been hampered because of injury. That's really what it comes down to with Denny. If Denny would play the entire year, I think Denny would win this thing. But,
good timing on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You're right. If he had done this in the first 6 weeks instead of the last 6 weeks, I wonder would he still be the favorite. But do you know the last guy to go from single digits points per game to double or plus 20, I should say, like that 10 plus increase to do it?
Just
from
to
1
do
year to the
period?
next. From 1 year to the next.
Had nothing to
he
do
won
with
most improved
player?
too.
Aaron Brooks?
Nope. That's a good guess. But he plays alongside Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
No, not Dyson Daniels. No. He plays CJ McCollum?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think back in 15, 16 or something like that when he won it and had that huge bump. And like that's another part of this like narrative, I guess, around Nickeil Alexander-Walker and his MIP chances. It's like, I mean, they traded away Trae Young. They were like, no, we're good. We're okay with him running the show here. And we'll make the trade from McCollum and Kispert.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
It is.
Two cousins are going to win awards here. in all likelihood. The Alexanders. Sixth man of the year. We got a lot of names. Still a lot of names to actual bet on FanDuel. Keldon Johnson, though, is the favorite, minus 900. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is next, plus 60. 600. Yeah, 650. 650 is what I'm trying to say. And then Naz Reid, Reed Shepard, Tim Hardaway Jr., AJ Mitchell, and Beef Stew way down there. They have their long shots. It's probably between Keldon Johnson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. Who would you go with? And is there anyone else you were surprised not to maybe see on that list?
Yeah, it's definitely a two-player race here, considering the odds go from the plus 650 of Jaquez to plus 10,000 of Naz Reid and the rest of it. Listen, I think this is Tim Hardaway's best season of his career. I think he's been awesome. So I don't think he's been awesome. He has been awesome, and the numbers prove it. And we all say, oh, Jokic goes to the bench, they stink. Well, guys like Tim Hardaway has helped that. But we're talking about the sixth man, and the sixth man award. I wouldn't give it to Keldon Johnson. I wouldn't. I would give it to Jaime Jaquez. I think because I know he's young, and he's only near 3, but we all wondered, is he going to be able to start and be a 3-point shooter? Well, he's gone to the bench, and he's totally changed his role and what he is. He just pushes that ball for Spoelstra. He just creates fast break opportunities. And that's part of the story. I think there's a better story with Jaime Jaquez. He's just gotten the best out of what he can do. Talking about point jumps, Jaquez has a good one from 8.6 last year to 15.1 this year. I think that's far sexier a story. Sorry, I'm using the word sexy again. It's a better improvement. It's a better storyline than Keldon Johnson, who's been fine. But why is Keldon Johnson the clear favorite? I don't really get it, because the Spurs are good. It doesn't usually have anything to do with being good.
I've seen some people wonder, is Keldon Johnson even the best player on the Spurs roster coming off the bench? Dylan Harper's.
Oh,
I mean, been damn good. Yeah. Keldon's played a role, and and I think like even the leadership value he brings to that team.
Yeah,
I get that. On a per game basis, Jaquez's case is pretty strong though. 15.1 points per game, leads all reserves by a decent margin. 4.6 assists, that's second. 5.1 boards, that's sixth. And Basketball Poetry wrote, the Heat rely on Jaquez more than any other team relies upon their top reserve.
That's a good way to put it.
And he plays more minutes per game than many starters. So I don't love that the Heat have like completely just fallen apart here at the end. I feel like this is maybe a no-brainer if they're flirting with the 6th seed or something like that, but they've just let go of the rope here and they can't stop anyone. So it makes it a little less sexy, and maybe that's why Keldon is the favorite, winning 60+ games and him playing almost like a team award. All right, Keldon, you're the representative of a very good Spurs bench. Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to be upset if he wins it. And I think I don't know, actually. This one I think is going to be close between these two in the votes.
He could be leading the odds just because there are more bets on him specifically, because it is kind of a team award as well. He represents their bench, and he is that emotional leader of that second unit. He's been there so long with the San Antonio Spurs, so long. I think there is a storyline there too. I reduce it to say it's not as good a storyline as Jaime Jaquez, but it's a different type of story than Jaime Jaquez, who has just grown immediately here in year 3, while Keldon Johnson, there's a little more to that and what he is. I can't believe how long he's been there. It just doesn't feel like he's been there for 7 seasons. Because he has gone through some. I mean, his numbers technically have dropped, because he used to be a starter. If you look at it that way, but he's been great.
You got a story, I got a story, we all got a story.
I agree with you. Yeah, we all do.
Final award here, Coach of the Year. Bickerstaff is the favorite. Minus 260. One. Joe Mazzulla. He doesn't want this award. Don't give it to him. Plus 220, and then Mitch Johnson of the Spurs, Charles Lee of the Hornets, and Quinn Snyder of the Hawks round out the list there. Mitch Johnson may be within striking distance, but looking like a Bickerstaff or Mazzulla for Coach of the Year. An award where expectations seem to matter, right? That's a big part of the Mazzulla factor. It's like, a lot of people thought gap year, they're going to be flirting with the play-in and all that. Instead, they're the number 2 seed in the East. But the Pistons ran away with the East and didn't miss a beat when Cade was gone. And I think that, to me, cemented Bickerstaff being deserving of this award.
Yeah, their over-under was 46.5 to start the season. So there was some expectations that they had to win, 46, 47 games. But they smashed them.
Yeah.
And they could win 60 games. They're 58-22. And so I understand why he's on the top. Yeah, it's a storyline award, and Joe Mazzulla does not want to be part of the story. As you said, he does not want to win it. Quite often the team fires their coach who wins it because they don't produce the following year.
Right.
We've seen it happen before. So, yeah, that would be the story if the Pistons flame out in the postseason and JB Bickerstaff wins. But all signs lead to them being really, really good in the playoffs. So I've got no problem with him winning. I think Jordan Ott of the Phoenix Suns should absolutely get plenty of votes.
Yeah, sort of shocking he's not even like Quinn Snyder at plus 50,000. Not that he's going to win, but just to have his name there, that was a little odd.
I guess people are betting on Quinn, and that's why the numbers change. And Jordan and the Suns have fallen off a little bit. Mostly because of injury, I think. Dillon Brooks being a big part of it. And so they haven't had their guys, Mark Williams. So they're at 44-36 now, on pace to win 45, 46 wins. While earlier it was like, they're going to win 50 games. So they've dropped off a little bit. I guess that's why.
But preseason expectations, not many people were high on the Suns.
Absolutely not.
I think a lot of people were more likely picking the Suns to be one of the worst teams in the league than they were to be in the play-in. So
I think I picked the under.
You and Trey did. I was the lone guy to go over on the Suns, but it was a low line too.
31.5.
Yeah. So I think Bickerstaff, you ultimately think JB gets it?
Probably.
Here? Him or Mazzulla, I guess. But
yeah, probably Bick. I mean, to beat the expectation of the number by over 10, that's a heck of an accomplishment for wins. Yes, he deserves it.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, worst of the week nominees. Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $250 in bonus bets just for getting started. Not bad. And when every possession matters in the playoffs, which it does, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action. From player props on your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips. So you can check stats, you can check trends, the matchups, all in one place. It's all right there for you to make your picks with some confidence. Everything you need, all in one app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/ don't go to FanDuel.com/podcast. Is that right? Or did I just actually
I
copy
think
and paste
that is right.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Just podcast.
Yeah.
For everybody.
For the deal.
Are you telling me we're not the only podcast sponsored by FanDuel? What? FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. FanDuel, play your game.
Yeah, I asked people, go to the app and let us know.
Yeah.
Can you let us know if all those things you mentioned there are good? Like the stats specifically.
Sure.
I haven't heard a thing.
Oh.
What up with that? Maybe they need a new website. Not FanDuel.com/podcast, FanDuel.com/no dunks. Does that exist?
I don't think so.
There was some talk about that.
Let's get into worst of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
Should we start with the best of the week?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think there's some great stuff in baseball this past
Oh
week.
God, I don't care.
Okay, just one thing. One thing is deserving of conversation. Did you see Joe Adell? He's the LA Angels outfielder. He robbed 3 home runs.
Okay, I did see that. I didn't know his name, but I did see that. Yeah.
That was incredible.
In one game, he robbed 3 home runs.
He went over the wall to snag a ball that was going over the fence, and it was perfected by that third one because it was a low wall. And when he went over the wall, and he got up, holding it.
That photo is
catching it.
badass.
Yeah, standing in the stands.
Yeah, and the people are just looking at him.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
I know the play-by-play guy said, does that count? Because he flipped over the wall and caught it.
But it does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I guess it's the equivalent of like falling over the railing on a foul ball out of bounds. Like as long as you catch it, it's good. Yeah.
So yeah, I mentioned earlier I was going to ask Vladimir Guerrero something. I just wanted to ask him about the guy who got 3 home runs. Nothing to do with you, but that was spectacular.
Hey, remember once upon a time I told you, by way of my mom, by way of my grandpa, you got to go to a baseball game because you never know. Or in every baseball game, something unique happens.
Yeah. Wow.
Case in point.
That was 3 home runs. Yeah, I was sitting there in the Dominican watching the Blue Jays. Unfortunately, they lost. They lost to the Dodgers a lot. I get it.
Swim up bar looking good?
No. In somewhere. Well, it was indoors.
Unfortunate.
But Yamamoto was on the bump on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Music's still going.
Yeah, last story. Yamamoto on the bump, and the person who worked at the resort just kept saying, "Was that $300 million?" Just kept pointing at the screen. $300 million. Yamamoto was signed for like $320 million.
Okay.
He just couldn't get over that a pitcher is making that much money, which is a lot of money, and that's why the Jays lost. But that's not a question I would ask.
Do you think he was subtly
Vladimir
trying
Guerrero
to say, "Hey,
about.
man, give me a tip here. I know it's a all-inclusive resort, but don't be afraid to pull out a 20 and slip it my way."
No, I don't think so. He was saying that to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Who then said, I was very confused. That person said, "That's how much my house is worth." Like, your house is worth
What?
$300 million.
Excuse me?
$300K, I guess maybe is what you meant. So I was confused. But he should be asking for a tip from a guy if his house is worth $300 million. That's for sure. Anyways, I wouldn't ask Vladdy about anything to do with what I saw in the Dominican, the Dodgers beating them. I would just ask him about Joe Adele. Best of the week. But worst of the week, 3 nominees. First one, Dillon Brooks, trash talking Kevin Durant. And there's a great camera angle we're showing to you on YouTube from the stands. It was a fan filming it. So it's dead ball. It's in between plays. Dillon Brooks talking trash to Kevin Durant. And then play starts. Kevin Durant gets the ball and immediately drops Dillon Brooks so fast. It is so incredible to see him get the ball, and Brooks, he slips once. He's able to stay on his feet and then gets dropped, and then Kevin Durant scores. So good. So good. Shout out to Sydney Lala on Twitter who was filming that. That's a cool angle to see that.
It's good work.
Yeah, because you actually see the entire trash talk, and then you see him get dropped and scored on. Too good.
Did you see the Dillon Brooks standoff with Benny the Bull? That clip going around?
No, how come I didn't
very,
see that?
very funny clip too. They're just like, Dillon Brooks does this weird thing where he just goes and looks at the other team and just sort of stares. He's done it before.
Yeah. Or he
and
finds
so
a
Benny
fan
did
too,
it.
right?
Yeah, Benny did it. And they just had a stare off. And whoever was doing the camera work was killing it too. They were going back and forth. And they just had a stare off. Very funny.
Very, very funny. Okay. Second nominee here.
Yes.
There's a history here. Cooper Flagg and Khaman Maluach of the Phoenix Suns. They played in Duke together. Okay. So Maluach and Cooper Flagg came into the league this year. This was the first time they got on the floor together this past week. Apparently, Cooper Flagg said to Maluach, "I'm going to dunk on you," pregame. Said that. And then in the game, he tried to dunk on him.
Yes.
But Maluach got him. We got the video here. He blocked it. Cool block. Another cool camera angle. And then the stare down.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thought he was going to get. Flagg thought he was going to get him. He thought he was going to get Maluach. Khaman Maluach got him. So that's pretty good. So it's the worst of the week. It's the best of the week, really. The story is good, but
That's good.
It needed to be included. Those two dudes going at it once. Third nominee is just more funny. Has to do with the Antetokounmpo bros, not Giannis. Nothing to do with Giannis. Yeah, there's some drama there, obviously. But it is pretty funny that Thanasis and Alex, who recently played his first game, are playing together, and Thanasis comes through with an incredible steal, actually, and then he tries to go set up his brother with a terrible pass, a horrible pass. He thought he was probably given a nice alley-oop. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. He should have given an alley-oop because they're on the break. It's a 2-on-1, but he passed it way behind him, and he kind of throws his hands up like he thought Alex, I guess, was going to shoot a 3-ball. All that to be said, Alex set up Thanasis for an alley-oop, successful one. With Giannis on the bench.
Oh, yeah,
He
I
loved
did
it.
see that. Yeah.
He loved that.
He was like, I want to be out there so bad playing with my brothers.
Yeah.
And they have said, you're not.
You're not allowed.
Sounds like he's not playing here
No.
in the finale. for that
It's
home game.
done. Yeah, I understand Giannis wants to show out. He wants the last sign of, or the last thing he does in Milwaukee is to be playing through everything. He wants his legend to be known as the guy who would play through anything, every injury, to give it to those fans who gave everything to him. But it ain't going to happen. And I understand it from the Bucks side. Either way, it's hilarious that Alex Antetokounmpo playing and that terrible play. Although, they had a good alley-oop. It wasn't a great pass from Alex to Thanasis, but that was the one making its ways around.
I hadn't seen that pass.
that one wasn't as big. Maybe I'm part of the Greek algorithm, but it wasn't the one that was going around all that much. I'm really surprised by the lower third. We're able to include Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Alex Antetokounmpo. That's a lot of letters.
Yeah.
I
saw you put that in there, and I left it.
I always wonder when JD can fit in there.
I was gonna tinker with it, but
I mean, we had some long ones. We have 3 long ones. Dillon Brooks. Well, first of all, it says nominee 1. Dillon Brooks trash talks KD. I went with KD instead. Immediately gets dropped. We had a whole Khaman Maluach, Cooper Flagg. All of them were long, but they fit.
They got them in.
How do we do it?
I got one more potential worst of the week nominee. I don't know. It's a silly one, too. Did you see the clip of the Pacers couple last night?
No.
Making the rounds, having a passionate discussion / argument.
Oh, we got
a very funny clip. They're arguing about something, but watch her at the end here. You can say, or I guess maybe we've clipped it, where she says, "That's you. That's you. What the fuck are you talking about?" And he does a hilarious little,
Yeah. You can literally read her lips pretty easily.
She says that, no doubt.
What the fuck
That
are
was
you
in
talking
Brooklyn.
about?
Rocking cool Pacers gear. I did like that.
That
Both
is
of their gear looks good. So I don't know what that was about.
So you don't know what she's referring to.
I got no clue. But it was pretty funny. Also, that game, 19 seconds into the fourth quarter of that Pacers-Nets game, the referees realized, oh, crap, we gave the ball to the wrong team to start the quarter.
Oh, no.
So they let the Nets play an entire possession at the start of the fourth, like obviously inbound at the end, bring it up, and they ran a play, and I think they shot a corner 3 and they missed it, and then a rebound happened, and they were like, whoa, hold on. Oh, crap. It was Pacers ball.
So what do they do then?
They just restarted the fourth quarter.
Oh,
They're
okay.
like, here, you take it.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go check in on this couple arguing with each other. You guys all right up there? Everybody's okay? But anyway.
She is super mad. It wasn't like she was saying, hey, that's you.
No.
It wasn't a kind comment. Like, that could be you out there playing basketball. She was
I
mad.
don't want to be judging or like, ooh, what a domestic or something like that. Because you've seen couples that like are spicy with each other, you know?
Yeah.
It might be the way they talk to each other.
Well, she's spicy. He's not.
Well, his reactions to me are like, well, I've heard this before. We've done this before. Because he sort of seems to be like, maybe good point. Anyway, very funny clip. They were on them for a long time. That clip we showed you was way less.
Yeah, that was the only thing that.
Oh, I sent you the wrong one then. Yeah. It was making the rounds last night. People were having fun with that.
Yeah, we were hearing some people yelling out on the street here at the studio here
yesterday. Yeah, man.
We thought there may be a domestic involved, but that was just somebody yelling at a phone.
He was on his phone, confirmed. He was
pretty sure.
He was angry. He was angry.
Pretty sure.
It was something. It was something money related. That's all I could catch from eavesdropping, and it was so you give me my money now type thing.
Yeah.
No camera on him. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's it. They were out there this morning at 3:30. Bonfire raging.
What?
Just chilling out. Yeah. What a street I live on.
Yeah, you live on a fascinating street.
Wow.
You do. You got goats at the end.
3:30.
You have a new character unlocked. I love her now. I drive by an older Chinese woman doing the most fascinating stretches.
Yeah.
On the hill over there, like in a weird spot on the road.
Wow.
I mean,
there's no sidewalks.
I know, but anyway, she's getting her steps in. I get it. And then she's doing a lot of like, she's getting the blood flowing.
Oh, God.
But that's a new character. She's brand new to me.
Have you seen shirtless beard guy with the pit bull walking around?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
No,
loves his dog. Sometimes he's gardening as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always shirtless.
Now that the weather is warmer.
All right.
That is too funny. Yeah, we could have done plenty of just worst of the week's lip reading, I think. Like those two fans, I think you could have squeezed Doug Christie in. We talked about yesterday. Because you can see him at one point say the word timeout. Like he talking to his assistant coach afterwards, after that whole drama, like a minute later, like, I thought we had a timeout. Like you could see him say that.
Don't
'Cause you
worry,
could've
the
broke that
NBA
down.
investigated it.
I know. Yeah, we said yesterday
They
on
weren't
Thursday's show
tanking.
there was no chance that it was going to be
Just bad coaching.
Yeah, wasn't doing anything.
You could argue the ultimate tank job is hiring Doug Christie as your head coach all season long. But
Was he
you know,
not
if he
supposed
gets
to-
if he gets an extension or a new contract or if he's coaching next year, then maybe we can investigate that.
Well, he's been
Sorry,
way
Doug.
better these last couple months.
Yeah,
Instead of
played
playing
the young guys, you're right.
playing the oldies.
True, true, true.
Ash is chiming in about,
Okay.
about the couple, the Pacers couple.
Go on.
Oh, okay.
The lady says they were fine, and that's just how they talk to each other. LOL from Ash.
We know that for sure.
No, well, this is Ash, DM and Slack. So
Well, this is what I hypothesized.
The lady says they're fine.
They're just spicy.
Yeah, he was just, he's used to it for sure.
Oh yeah.
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 This is a
And
man who gets yelled at.
we have
and he's
literally
used
no
to it.
clue what they're even arguing
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
They could be arguing about some other stupid couple over there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Good stuff. Well, but
No, Ash has got me watching it again. I mean, he is super passionate too, actually.
Yeah.
He's into it.
Yeah.
I didn't, because it wasn't part of the clip we're showing you here on YouTube, but he's going through some stuff. Yeah, let me list you some stuff.
yeah.
And then that's when she drops. You could see her eyes like going left to right. What? I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. Good stuff. That's great stuff.
Love of the night, sponsored by Ishaan. It's his friend's Toby's birthday on April 11th. That's tomorrow. So happy birthday to Toby in advance. But Ishaan and Toby, two boys from Melbourne who love basketball, and their friendship really grew after watching our show on NBA TV and now listening to the podcast every day. Ishaan added this very kind sentiment. You guys have really been guiding influences to us in what adult friendship can be like, and we love your youthful energy as we near our 30s. You've showed us we can do great things while being old still. No, just kidding. While having fun and a sense of humor. So, youthful energy. Hey, I'll take it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Don't feel youthful this morning. I feel very sore from playing basketball last night. Yeah. I even took Advil and it did nothing. Getting to that point. Okay. Woboy goes to Brandon Ingram. Scored a season high 38 points to lead the Raps over the Heat. BI shot 13 of 23 from the field, 10 of 11 at the line, 7 boards, 7 assists, 1 steal in 37 minutes. So really good game. They had those Dino jerseys on. They had the whole Vince Carter Dino court too. I wonder if we see that in the postseason. Maybe? Be fun. Can't remember what they do or what the rules are around that.
Like City
you're-
Edition courts.
Yeah, like are you
I don't know.
allowed to? I think you might be.
I think you might
They
be.
should. It looks awesome.
It does look awesome. Brandon Ingram, the most points in Raptors history in the first season of his play. Like, he beat more than Kawhi Leonard.
Who missed like 20 games.
Yeah, that was part
The
of
regular season.
it. Yeah, that's part of it. More than,
Wow, that's fascinating though.
yeah, it is surprising.
Good fact. Good stat.
Like, you know.
Who else would he
beating-
who else would even be?
Well, Vince in his
Mike
rookie,
James?
Vince in his rookie year, or is it just people who've come over? Like, could it be Vince Carter?
Oh yeah. Is it just in trade or is it like a potential rookie?
Well,
Could've
yeah,
scored a ton.
it's probably a player who has not been drafted by
Yeah,
the Toronto
okay,
Raptors.
okay.
Although, Vince was part of his first season was a lockout season anyways. So that played a factor, but
He was traded to the Raptors on draft night.
oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Doesn't count, but-
That's a lot of loopholes out
A
there.
lot of loopholes. All right, before we go, it's time for some rapid fire fun. Tass has the questions, also answering along with myself and JD.
First one, there are a bunch of ladies at the Nuggets game rocking handlebar mustaches like they were Bruce Brown. Yeah, they got to meet him. They were pretty close to the bench, and they're all sitting together. It was some nice moment. They took some photos and all that. So if someone was to impersonate you, like they were impersonating Bruce Brown and his handlebar mustaches, what feature would they add? Skeets.
I mean, I've had a pretty similar haircut for a very long time, so I guess that would be an obvious answer. I don't know what you call my hair. I asked Nora, I was like, is my hair spiky? She's like, no.
Used to be.
Used to be spiky?
Yeah.
Spikier than this?
Well, when we
I've
first
had this
started
haircut
show.
for literally,
Yeah, but I'm talking 20 years ago.
oh, okay.
Used to have a spiky.
More spiky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she said it's fluffy. which I never thought my hair was fluffy. So anyway, that could be one answer, but I also would go wearing purple book ones. I have worn these shoes. Here, I'll pull one off.
Yeah.
I've worn these shoes all year long on this show because they're comfy as hell. This is not an endorsement. Now look at how beat up they are. I don't know about you, but I this little part of the shoe goes on both sides for me. What up with that?
What, the eyelet?
Yeah, or I don't know, like just that top part there. Like, see, it's good.
Oh, not the eyelet.
It's on my other one too. Anyway, I bought another pair of these off eBay because these are gonna quickly be the old outdoor shoes.
Oh, you're going to start to pull a move like your father-in-law where you kind of have like
Cut the
outdoor
back off.
slippers?
Yeah. No, because these just go on so easy. But I have never gotten more compliments on a shoe in my life than these in Atlanta. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird, but so many people comment on them and are like, those look comfy, whatever. So I guess book ones or this weird haircut is my answer.
So you say you just call them purple?
I mean, just a light purple. What do you don't think that's purple?
Yeah. Purple,
Like they're-
metallic.
hold on, these are
purple.
dirty, by the way. These are filthy at this point. That's purple, Taz.
The
or
swoosh
metallic
for sure.
purple.
Swoosh is
Yeah,
purple. Wow,
yeah.
I've got eye issues.
That's a light purple.
I can't see.
I mean,
Well,
All right.
JD, am I crazy?
there is definitely a sort of a lilac
Okay, well-
tinge to the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of it.
If they're not purple, what are they?
Silver. Like the actual swoosh you're talking?
The swoosh,
swoosh is
a-
definitely purple.
It's a purple
Oh,
silver.
I got bad eyes. I mean,
Okay.
it's more on me. All right, JD.
Subtle.
Great shoes. Honestly, they're super comfy. They're like skate shoes.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
hoop in them. Trey hoops in them, or he has at least. Nah, they're like a skate shoe to me.
Yeah, doesn't look like.
Yeah.
I mean, Booker obviously plays in
Yeah.
them. Some people can't.
He's got his twos now. Yeah.
Yeah. Almost identical answer for me because my beard, obviously, I got big thick glasses and stuff, and I'm usually wearing a baseball cap. But what I get the most comments when I'm at the gym, like playing pickleball, is my shoes. And
What?
yeah,
So what are
because
you
I
wearing?
wear Tatum's, and they're sort of like
Whoa.
ice cream, like cotton candy ice cream, and just I get more compliments about these shoes than anything
Yeah.
at all.
I mean, those are some loud shoes.
they're pretty loud.
Yeah.
I bought them because they were on sale, right? They're
There you
like
go.
$100, so I was like, all right, I don't care what they look like, but I got a lot of compliments about
Good.
on them. So
People in the South here, they like some flair on their
yeah,
shoes.
they do.
I meant to tell both of you guys, just in talking shoes, the other night at Pickup Hoops, someone was playing in Indians.
Ooh, no way.
I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa.
Talk to him?
What's that?
Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't. But I was sitting off and I'm like, hold on, I've seen these shoes before. Oh my God. So there you go.
Yeah.
I thought you were wearing the Indians when you were playing.
Yeah, Spencer came through with the Indians,
Yeah.
11, size 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like them, but it takes a very long time to put them on. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Spencer Jones of the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
He wants to support your ankles. I'm still surprised. I haven't put them on yet, but they take so long. I mean,
You gotta
there's
start putting
there's
them
a
on
couple
a week
straps.
before you're gonna do
Yeah.
something.
I guess I wouldn't think that they would take so long just because they are light. It's a light shoe.
Once
don't know
they're
why.
on, they're very
Mentally,
comfortable.
Once they're on, they're very
And
comfortable.
if you have any ankle issues at all, I would recommend them.
Yeah.
For me, if I was to put something on that, or have somebody impersonate me
Yeah.
with something, I should say, I guess it would be a longer hair thing. I don't have long hair, but I kind of grow it out, and the thing that people comment to me are like, "Whoa, you got wavy hair."
Yeah, you got
And
the
then-
swoosh at the
I got,
top.
I got a little swoosh. So it would be funny if people put on like a longer version, like a wig almost.
Yeah.
Like that would be super swoopy that you could put on and go whip somebody with. Like you had long hair. That would be awesome. That's a good move. Sure. Cool story, bro. All right. Next question here. A photo of a ridiculous toilet, which we'll show you here on YouTube. It's also a horse. A toilet, which is also a horse, was making its way around the internet this week. So many questions. I mean, number one, how do you use it as a toilet?
Yeah, there's no tank.
There's no tank.
Is this just AI or like?
Well, the hindquarters could be the tank, I suppose.
Well, where do you flush it?
Yeah.
Isn't that lever at the bottom
No,
left?
that looks like a hose. That looks like a bidet feature.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
It's some sort of hose, but it could. Yeah.
Oh,
Because it's got-
yeah, you're right. It is a hose.
Well, there's probably somewhere you could. I mean, we don't see the other side,
Yeah.
but it's. I asked, how do you use it as a toilet? Because if you're a man standing,
Yeah, you're
Not an
not. You're not
option.
standing unless you're standing to the side. This is
Oh, I
not,
get-
guys. This
yeah,
is not
you
a
can-
real
No,
toilet.
this is AI.
There's
I
no
don't know.
freaking way.
I don't know.
There's no way this
There's
is
no
real.
way.
Tess.
No, it's highly unlikely, but you never know.
Look at this where it is compared to the sink.
Yeah,
like,
that-
how would you even
This
reach the
makes
sink?
no sense.
That part sucks.
It's so low.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely.
It's funny, but
But like you said, the basin could be the butt / the side that we're seeing here. If you do go around to the other side, I think you can pee in it because it doesn't look like the hooves are that far out on the other side.
I mean, I tweeted, imagine Lee Ellis doing the Lee pee and mounting this thing backwards at night.
Yeah.
Like he's Dudley Do-Right or Dudley Poo-Right, I went with. I don't think anybody got my reference, but Dudley Do-Right used to ride the horse backwards. So anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean the toilet seat is definitely fake. Like the one on the left, because there may be multiple toilet seats here. It's hard to tell. Like that's just it's AI, but whatever. Anyways, what's another animal that needs to be part of a toilet, Skeets?
Well, I would give you a real one. Maybe this
Yeah, give us
exists.
a real one,
Like
yeah.
they could make this. Is my point. Men's bathroom at a restaurant or a bar. A hippo urinal.
Okay.
Big hippo mouth.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just as a urinal on the wall. Yeah, look, whatever. Looks sort of cool.
Yeah.
Like the mouth of a hippo wide open before they're gonna chomp down on a watermelon is looks to me like a perfect urinal. A lot of room.
Little intimidating, I'd
A little
say.
intimidating, sure. But
Would it intimidate you to just have like a ceramic? It's not real, JD.
Was looking at you in your eyes and it's about
Well,
to chomp down.
yeah, be
You
careful.
gotta take your bits out.
Yeah, I didn't see the eyes looking
what
at
are you hung like a watermelon?
Well,
Yeah, I
there
didn't
are
see.
sometimes.
I mean, the eyes are on the side of the head. So it's not really.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm surprised it wouldn't be.
It might
That
exist
hasn't
for all I
existed,
know. Yeah. Maybe at a rainforest cafe.
JD.
Yeah, I went in the other direction. I was inspired by this definitely AI version of the horse. So I just put in my own prompt and made it a dragon.
Oh, that's even cooler, man.
Right? I would be very uncomfortable because it's very
How?
spiky.
Yeah, you gotta
and
sit and then
scaly.
put your legs to the side of the one, the one dragon leg.
Yeah.
No, you can't sit on this thing.
Nah.
But
Well, you could. But
It'd be cool if the
You could.
bidet was the mouth.
Right.
Like it turned its head and
yes.
yeah.
Or you had to flush it, you have to say Dracarys
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I am 1,000% convinced the last one was AI now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I looked at it more as something which could actually exist. If you ever see emperor penguins, there's always the mommy or daddy penguin at the back and then the little baby penguin at the front. And so you could still have the mommy or daddy penguin at the back, and then the little one would be the toilet, essentially. Like that would be the part of the toilet where
Yeah, I got
you're
ya.
sitting or standing. It could be a urinal, but it could also be a toilet, I
Yeah.
think. You can make both work.
The mom or dad you're saying would be the tank portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back part.
Right.
Yeah, and if you have a standard tall urinal, that parent emperor penguin would be the whole big
Yeah.
urinal thing.
This is one of the weirder questions
yeah.
we've really taken some time to break down. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, definitely a
Yeah.
weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was swayed because I read a recent article about emperor penguins being endangered on New York Times, and the photo is the mommy standing behind the baby. Hold on, with penguins, often is it the dad who stays with the penguin or something?
I thought it was
think
that,
so,
right?
yeah.
March of the Penguins, baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
Yeah, the mom's just out of there.
The mom's got to go do everything. Yeah.
Oh, she does
I think
the
so.
stuff. All right, last question here. Not as weird as that last one.
Okay.
This one comes from No Dunks fan Lawrence Chung, longtime fan. He's sponsoring this one, and he's got a good reason to celebrate. He's getting married this afternoon.
Hey, congratulations, Lawrence.
No big ceremony, just a city hall signing. Simple as that. No bells and whistles, just the paperwork. His question, what's something you could do without the pageantry for? Like weddings, graduations, adult birthday parties, skeets.
Yeah, those are all good suggestions Lawrence is giving, but I'll go New Year's Eve. You know? Am I aging myself? I absolutely am. You know, young skeets love New Year's Eve. You know, white Lamborghinis and the such. But
White Lamborghinis.
now, it's just another night to me, man.
Yeah.
Have you slept through New Year's yet in your like midnight?
I have over the last couple, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, I'll just go to bed at my normal time. It's okay. You know, I'll throw on a CNN, see
Andy and Anderson.
Andy and Anderson,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, like have some hijinks, but for the most part, once I see those people wearing a diaper in Times Square, knowing they're shitting their pants all night, I can go to bed.
Do you see the diapers?
No.
No,
Okay.
but it's
But
it's presumed.
I know they're wearing diapers
Because they've been
because they
got to
go in there to the pen at like whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever the gates open at 5 or 6, and apparently once you leave, you cannot get back in, and there are no bathrooms or restrooms in there. So it's like, I mean, I could hold it, I guess, for let's say 8 hours, but
Oh, it's
some people
not fun.
apparently wear diapers.
Yeah.
I would by choice. I mean, I'd rather urinate than not.
Suppose.
Is there a hippo urinal around here? I go pissing on New Year's Eve.
It's so long.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
long. And why are you
cold.
Why are you standing there?
To be there.
That's so funny you brought up cold, because I was thinking that like it's like New Year's Eve for us in this hemisphere. It's like it's shitty weather.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, it'd be one thing I think I'd be more in Australia to New Year's Eve, baby. Like now it's awesome out. Let's party all day. Let's barbecue. That makes
midsummer.
sense. Yeah. Not here, right? So maybe not here in Atlanta. It's not brutal cold, but you get my
It still
point.
gets cold.
Yeah.
JD, what's something you could do without the pageantry for?
I mean, I'm about to go to my kid's high school graduation, which
Oh, yes.
I'm not looking forward to.
talked
But
about this
there is an appropriate amount of, it's kind of a big deal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're graduating high school, you're sort of becoming an adult. But it's the elementary school graduations that they just have to go, period. Like, they just, and they happen in the middle of the day as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure for people to take off work to go graduate from fucking grade 6 or, you know? It's,
I went to one recently. You're right.
it's
very
stupid.
weird.
It's, yeah. And they put a lot of, there's a lot of stuff, like here in the US, they have the chords. Now, they don't do this at the elementary level, but the high school level, like you can get they have to list every single honor that they have. And some of them are just like, one is just for registering to vote. It's like, okay, good for you for registering to vote, but I don't need that as part of the list of accomplishments. I mean, it's just, this
Wow,
is just,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Anyway,
I wonder if that's newish.
I think it might be, but
When's your graduation?
it's coming up May 22nd or something like that. Yeah. End of May.
A lot of graduations out there.
Indeed.
Yeah. What about a preschool graduation?
Oh, get out
Those
of here.
exist, dude.
Literally, get out of there.
Those exist.
Yeah.
They're freaking elaborate.
Yeah.
For preschool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My arms were getting tired. I was like, oh, I can film this. I didn't know I'd be filming for
Oh my god.
literally an hour.
Yeah, put that on sticks, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, Daddy cried. It was worth it.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, I'll always remember it.
So the preschool one is the most emotional one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's actually sort
It's
of
like,
more
God
cute.
damn
at least.
it.
It's the middle, the
Yeah.
grade school one. What are
You're
we
like-
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a human wearing a robe. Like, you know, you're old. And you get a weird graduation hat, depending on the school.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all grown up.
What
for
about
me,
you? Yeah.
for me, milestone birthdays. I know people say 20, big deal, or 30 or 40, but just if you put less emphasis on the round numbers, maybe you put a little more emphasis annually on the other ones.
Okay.
Where you do a little more, there's more creativity, there's more effort into those. I mean, I'm just trying to find a reason why the milestone ones aren't, because I am getting older too, man. And when it comes to when you're at 40, Doesn't matter. I remember my 40th wasn't anything all that much, which was fine. But really, it's hard to decipher between a 40 and a 39 or a 41 or a 42. But I know people for their 40th, they like, we're doing a
They
vacation
go all out,
or something to that effect. But every day is a birthday. Every year is a birthday. How about we treat it that way?
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. I didn't get you anything.
Nah. Well, you got me a show.
That's right. Every day is
Every
a
day we
birthday
do
for
a show.
everybody out there. That's what we give you. All right, that's rapid fire. Not so rapid, but we got there. Some fun questions. And congratulations again to Lawrence on the big wedding. And look, hey, I did the same thing, man. City Hall it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Save that money. Put it to something good, like your 40th birthday trip to the Dominican Republic.
Where's your partner's name? I don't want to just see
It's
it.
Josie. Sorry.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats to
congratulations
Josie and
both.
Lawrence.
You're right. I kept saying, yeah, it's funny. You're
My
just
bad.
like, Lawrence, only
No, it's not your
congratulations.
bad.
to
That's
you.
all right.
Yeah.
It
And happy
happens.
birthday to Toby as
It
well.
happens in our Woe Boy sponsorships. Quite often, it's one person saying, "Hey, I'm getting married."
Right.
Well, what about the other person?
Yeah, we care, man. We care.
But there was that great one where it was Hayden Sanchez sent a message in saying, "I'm getting married,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we didn't know his partner's name. But then Stella sent a message saying, "Hey, I'm getting married. Can we sponsor Woe Boy? Can I sponsor Woe Boy?" Yeah, you can. Great stuff.
That was amazing.
That's great.
All right, that's it for No Dunks here today, the Drop Podcast. We're back on Monday. Trey Kirby back in the Classic Factory. Hashtag full squad come Monday. Recapping the final weekend of the regular season. Obviously figuring out who's playing who when it comes to the play-in games and when it comes to the playoff matchups that we will know in some cases. So next week, things get real here in No Dunks land because we'll start doing our playoff previews throughout the week. We'll obviously preview and set up the play-in games. We'll be breaking those down. Those start on Tuesday night, and then there's some on Wednesday night, and then the finals of the play-in is on Friday. Obviously, the playoffs start on Saturday and then Sunday, so that's sort of what we're looking at next week.
Yep.
In addition to all the NBA news and everything else going on. So hope you join us. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe, 5-star ratings and reviews. If you're a Survivor fan, we had a fun podcast yesterday on No Buffs, JD, Nora, and myself. So go check that out. Otherwise, enjoy 30 games of regular season basketball left. 15 on tonight, 15 on Sunday. That's a lot of basketball.
It is.
Not every game matters. So you get to pick or choose.
Most.
And shenanigans, like you said, who's playing, who's not, who wants to see each other, who doesn't. But we'll have a busy Monday morning show, I think, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Brandon Ingram of the Toronto Raptors now has the most points in the first season with the Toronto Raptors. I'm still having difficulty believing that it's not just players acquired because it's being listed as most points in the first season with the Raptors,
Okay.
regardless of being drafted. Either way,
mean,
don't
Well, I was
look it
looking
up
at
because I have
Vince
a
Carter.
question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
Vince Carter didn't do it.
No, I know. And he only played 50 games because it was a shortened season.
Yeah. But what about like a Damon Stoudemire in 95, 96? He scored a lot of points.
Yeah, he probably
Anyways.
averaged 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, B.I. averages more, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So yeah, maybe it's true because he passed Kawhi. But who was the leader? That's why I don't want you to look. Who was
okay.
the Raptor with the most points in his first season?
So I assume it wasn't Damon Stoudemire.
No.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Can I get it?
I'm asking because it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's not Andrea Bargnani.
No. I mean,
not-
it sort of makes sense.
It's not Bosch. It's not Lowry. It's not Kawhi. It's
No.
not DeRozan. No.
I guess it makes sense. It's somebody who was acquired.
Huh.
Acquired.
Rudy Gay?
I mean, could have been a free agent. Good guess. You got to go deep.
Mike James.
Yeah, Mike James.
Oh, I said that earlier.
Oh, early in the show.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
sort of jokingly.
Yeah. 16.
did score a
He had the
lot.
most points in his first season with the Raptors. More than Kawhi.
Wow. I mean, he averaged over 20. I think.
Yeah, he did.
Amityville Horror. Mike James. Mike James! Everybody embrace the weekend. Enjoy the basketball. See you Monday.